Well, time to prove that we aren't a flash in the pan in Northern Irish football. We've got a chance to sustain our success this season as we go into our first domestic League Cup final. We've got an opportunity to back up the Irish Cup we won last year, and we're also just about in a race for second. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 67 of this Build a Nation story, Lifting Spirits with me, Daniel. We are back today, well, sort of one game later than planned because one of our games was moved forward a little bit. That's because our league game with Coleraine was pushed forward so we can play them in the Northern Irish Cup as well. If we defend this crown this year, then we have well and truly earned it. We beat Larne in the first round, we've got Coleraine in the second. I'm sure Linfield will be waiting if we win this one. But then it's the big one, the League Cup final against Larne. We've got a chance at a trophy, and as you can see above my head now and looking at the league table, there is a very good chance that we could maybe compete for second place. So if you're looking forward to seeing how we get on and what happens while we're not playing in league action in the next few weeks, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. There's an awful lot to talk about and it's so hard to judge because if you look at Larne and Linfield, there's so many games in hand. Linfield are going to walk the league this year. Larne haven't been anywhere near as good, but we've been a surprise package. So if they win their 2 games in hand, they will still be 1 point behind us as it stands. The rest of the teams are 8 or 9 points behind, so hopefully third is now wrapped up. That means we can focus on the trophies. Let's go and have a look at what's been going on. Because you were with me in early January as we lost 4-2 at Coleraine after a big win against Crusaders. And since then, we have been really good. We've competed on a league front. We've managed to deal with the rotation of the squad. We've got a much better team and backup than last year. And it showed. A couple of away defeats, but otherwise really good performances. So we won 1-0 at home to Glenarvan. It was a Jonathan McElhatton penalty. So often the case, to be fair. If there were people in the Irish League, like other fans against United, tell you what, they'll be talking about Fernandes. Maybe Jonathan Pennell-Hatton, does that one work? Think that might be the alternative here. We did then lose 2-1 away to Linfield. Jaffet and Pardee equalised, but we let in a late winner. A 1-0 victory against Larne was crucial. Jonathan McElhatton with that goal, not from the spot this time. A 4-1 against Glentoran. McElhatton's hat-trick did include a pen, and Pardee scored yet another. Against Larne in the Cup, we won by 1-0. Wouldn't mind that again next weekend in the final. Cameron Cooper coming in up front and scoring the goal there. A 2-0 win at Ballymena, Jones and Cooper with the goals. A 0-0 draw at Linfield, a fabulous result. A 2-0 win at home to Cliftonville, again and Pardee and McElhatton. And then into February, we had a 1-1 draw at Portadown. Jonathan McElhatton straight after we conceded. Frustrating day though, we dominated that game. But then a big win at home to Coleraine. 2 for McElhatton, 1 for Morgan Griffiths. This time it was a penalty against for Matthew Shevlin. I'm not sure that he's still keeping pace. Not quite, he's 7 behind. Look at the difference Varma makes on the left though. Top of the assist chart already. That's what Lewis Scott didn't do last year. We've got 2 cup games to worry about now. In that time, Larne and Linfield play a game in hand on Tuesday. Linfield play next weekend. Both play next midweek as well. So I think at the end of this episode, we'll get a bit more of an indicator as to what might be expected for the rest of this year. But we have got some transfer news before we get going as well. If we go and have a look at the history for January, the 2 players that I mentioned both came in permanently and a few players left the club as well. So Daniel Dobbin, you knew was going out. He went off to Longford where now he's off the wage bill. It's a big change that. Ben Owen went on loan to Mansfield after rejecting a move to a club. I can't remember who in this division. Might have been Glentoran. But he's going out. They're paying 90% of his wage. They're also paying a small fee. So couldn't reject that one. And then the final one out was Barry Coffey. He goes to Glentoran, mainly because we got our second player in. And to be fair, it's 200 quid off the wage bill for someone we couldn't register. And that has been the change this January. Owen and Coffey go out of the squad. They are both non-Northern Irish players. The 2 that come in are Colin McCann. He comes from Larne as our backup number 10. Very good mentally, very good physically. A little bit off the pace in terms of technical ability. He can do a job and he's no worse than Coffey was. So I like the way that he tries to get into the opposition area. I don't like that he can't really finish. But on 200 quid a week and someone who is homegrown in the nation, it does make a really big difference. And to be fair, he was barely playing for Larne either. The second one, though, is a new starting right back. It was the weak link of the team, and Callum Wilson solves that weak link straight away. He comes in after being released from Linfield, where he played 150 odd games, had a spell at Warren Point prior to that and one other club in Northern Ireland. But naturally very fit, great for 2 games a week. He's 6'1", he's imposing at right back, gives us that height at the end of both boxes as well. Curtis Bell and Callum Wilson now for back post deliveries. They're able to deal with it. They're physically strong enough. And all of our fullbacks at the club, bar I think Hammond, who might even be close himself. I'll have to look now. I'm sure they're all 6 foot. Yeah, Hammond's 5'10", the rest of them 6 foot plus, and all very strong in the air. He's a good player all round, maybe not the best going forward, but now with Mpardi and Puarte, we just needed a solid defender. And my word, have we got that. So a really good transfer window in terms of meeting our objectives. We managed to get ourselves into a really strong position, and now our wage bill is no worse off. We're in a decent enough position, and we've got a real chance at maybe second place in the league, but certainly at winning a trophy today. So let's get into the home game against Coleraine. We have got a week off between these 2 matches, so anyone who's fit is going to start. Let's see what that's going to look like. Not great. There's a fair few missing after midweek. I'm not going to take risks. The cup final's more important. We won this trophy last year. Let's get an 11 out that can run. Here we go then. As always for the cups, we've brought Ethan Ross in between the sticks. It is largely a rotated 11 this actually. Whitehall comes back in to start. He is a regular. I think other than that, maybe just McClellan and Wilson. It's not many at all of our first team. But still, we've got Ross in goal. Wilson and Hammond the fullbacks with Williams and McClellan at centre half. We're bringing in Williams, who was player of the year last year. It's hardly a weakening of the team. Whitehall is alongside young Burns in central midfield. Puarte on the right, Scott on the left. Again, he was first choice last season. And then Charlie McCann, the new signing. Is his name Charlie? It's Colin. Sorry, Colin. Colin McCann in attacking midfield. And Cameron Cooper up front. We've got Mucklehatton, Daniels and Griffiths if we need to save the game. We've also got Wilson, Bagley, McGill who's still here, and Jim Wood as our other options. So let's just go and get into it. Distillery v Coleraine, we've rotated heavily. We've got to prioritise a cup final. I feel we've got a chance at winning it. And in the league, if we can get second, no European playoff yet again. Let's go to the match against Coleraine. Fingers crossed for a result. We could have done with a team that was going to bring a bigger away following, but that's a small problem. We're not going to complain about that. Our former player Wilson Brown is at left back. Thankfully, they've dropped out a lot of their stars, so seemingly they're doing the same, prioritising the league in the next couple of weeks. Shevlin is out, Baird is out, Lyndon Kane is out, the skipper. There are a few very big players there missing out on the team. So let's go and tell the lads to impress us. A couple motivated and inspired. It's 2 rotated sides. It almost shows disrespect to the cup, but we did all right against Larne when rotating. So let's hope we can do the same today. Well, we're back with 6 minutes on the clock. It's been a quiet start, but we are working down the right wing here as Puarte gets it from Wilson. Chance to cross into the box, does just that. Lewis Scott's up. It's a great header. Back where it came from. Not sure about the goalkeeping if I'm being honest, but it does go into the near corner. He manages to get it back across goal, and we're 1-0 up. We're going more aggressive, and this is the thing at the moment. I can trust us to go further forward. I've just realised that right back. Wayne Murphy, hang on a minute. Ethan Ross in no man's land. He gets away with that one. The right back Wayne Murphy, we had him on loan a couple of years ago. I didn't realise he was still there. He is. There he is. We definitely had him, didn't we? There he is. 5 appearances for us. Not a first teamer for Coleraine. He's never improved that personality. He's a decent player, so fair play to him. He's not better than what we've got. And that is a massive, massive compliment to our largely backup 11. Albeit the right back isn't one of those. Though Jim Wood's probably better than him and he's sitting on the bench. As O'Brien goes long downfield, McClellan gets there. He finds Callum Wilson. Chance to play forward. Goes back into his centre half. We're keeping the ball well here. Burns finds Whitehall. Chip down the right. McCann will chase it. Not the best technically, but as we've said before, a very willing runner. Good delivery into the box that time actually. But Cameron Cooper slots it wide. Normally so reliable. And now we've got bruised ribs for McCann as well. So not looking good on the injury front, but dominant on the pitch. And then we get a free kick against in this area. I think we all know what's going to happen here. It's just which corner. I'm going for that one. To the goalkeeper's side rather than the Wolves one. Wrong side and it just missed the target. We get away with that one. 25 gone, 1-0 up. Still no shot on target for the visitors. Well, at half-time, it is 1-0 to Distillery. It's been a pretty comfortable game. We've controlled possession, we've controlled the match play, but we have given up a couple of set pieces, and that's my only little worry at the minute. No corners, which is a good thing, but we will make changes later on. Want to protect the likes of Wilson and Whitehall, who are going to play next weekend. Make sure we don't get any injuries for that final. And we have got some good players on the bench, in fairness. I just don't want to play them too long. As Lewis Scott gets the ball here to Burns. On the yellow card, long ball to Cooper. 2-0 would give us a chance. I think he was offside. I'm not going to celebrate yet. Cooper. Oh, it is. It's a goal. I was so sure he was offside. There was no one within sight of him. But the flag doesn't go up. Whether that's a mistake, I don't know. And Cooper just taps in for 2. Goalkeeper in no man's land. What a lovely goal. It is a gift, and it's 2-0 to Distillery. Let's go and make the changes. Bagley off. Or Bagley on, sorry, for McCann, who's injured. We'll put Whitehall further forward for now. And then I'm looking up front. Cameron Cooper's not had his best game, but it's all right. I'm also looking at the back. McClellan and Wilson, their first choice. So let's get Jim Wood on for Callum Wilson. I'm also having a look in midfield, but the rest of the lads are struggling a bit. They've played a lot of football, and Daniel McGill's nowhere near good enough. Wilson can only play up front where we don't need him. So I'm just going to leave it at 2 for now. There's no problem with us scattering these. We'll see it out. We'll get to the last 15. Then we'll maybe bring on some of the superstars. As we're back with a free kick for Coleraine. Hit from miles out, but Ross is equal to it. Does well to save down to his left-hand side. I can see McClelland is really struggling now. McBrien will take the corner. Let's see it out. Headed away. I've only got McGill on the bench. It's a big decision to make. Let's see if we're going to brave it out or not. I could put Puarte right back. I'm going to do that. Puarte drops back for McClellan. Jimwood goes into centre-half. Then on the right wing, McElhatton will come on. Sorry, Mark Wilson. The centre mid, Burns off, Daniels on. And then Whitehall struggling as well. We need him next week. Morgan Griffiths, 15 minutes. He's now the best player on the pitch, just like that. 15 to go at 2-0 up. We've dominated the game. We deserve to get through. The question is, can we do it? I can see Linfield are 3-0 up. Will they complete the holy trilogy of opponents in this competition? We'll deserve to have won it if we get to the final, trust me. As Berry takes a goal kick downfield, 1 minute to go. Surely we can't throw this away. Are they famous last words? As Johnson gets it a left back. Into the centre circle for Kurt. Chipped over the top. Jimwood does really well. Daniels on for Scott. Acres of space to run into. Here's the chance. He gives it away. He looks absolutely knackered out there, as do a few of them to be fair. Williams finds Hammond again for Griffiths. Look at Williams as an example. Been out of the team like this year after being player of the season. Comes in like a Rolls Royce at the back. As Daniels going to play it back to him. Going to give it away now, isn't he? No, play short to Wood. Chip forward towards Cooper. Loses out, but it's fallen to the midfielder. Cleared away again to Williams. Always there. Hammond finds Daniels. Into Bagley. The sub plays it through to Cooper. He's 1-on-1. Got to finish it. And does finish it. What a day at the office. It's 3-0 in the cup. And you know what? After January, improving the squad whilst dealing with the registration stuff, I really feel that we are definitely the third best in the league. And maybe we'll be competing with Larne soon. Let's go and get through the dressing room. We're really pleased with that. But the big one is coming up next. It's the League Cup final. It's a chance to start winning a trophy every season. But Larne are one of the toughest opponents. Can we deal with them on the day? Well, let's go and find out. It's fitness test time. It's cup final time. Not a spot in Europe up for grabs this year. So we can finally focus on just winning a trophy, which we didn't really get to do in the Irish Cup last year. Let's go and get through the fixtures. It is the only final we haven't been in, and Larne are sure to prove stiff opposition. However, we go and have a quick look at the Irish Premiership at the weekend. Linfield won 5-1 in their second game in hand, and he won 5-1 in their first game in hand. Larne also won 1-0, but they have played in midweek, so maybe we'll have the physical edge in this game, albeit that does mean the race for second is going to be a lot trickier. But if we finish third and we win this competition, I'm calling it a great season already. Add to it our European debut, a real strengthening of the squad, getting back within the squad registration rules. I don't think I could ask for much more from this year, if I'm being brutally honest. So let's go and get through to the team. It's a sellout wherever it's being held. It is, I'm not quite sure where actually. We'll come back to that in a moment. Let's go and get this 11 picked. We've got a few players cup tied, including Callum Wilson, including McCann and Daniel McGill. So we'll be back in a moment to run through our team that's going to face Larne in the cup final. Well, here we go then. Some very big decisions to be made. Firstly, I've gone for Neil Kane in goal. I'm really sorry to Ethan Ross. He's played every cup game so far, but Kane's the first choice keeper. He deserves to get his first cup final. Second big thing. Unfortunately, in addition to the cup tie players, Jaffet and Pardy has not made it back. That means that Poate will start on the right-hand side. The other big decision I've made is in defence. With no Wilson, who is cup tied, I've gone for Jim Wood. I could have played McClellan right back. I could have played Williams right back, put in Harley Jones at centre half. But I'm sticking with Wood. I trust him for this game. He's been very good in the big game so far. So let's go and get into it. Our 11 in full. Neil Kane in goal. Wood and Bell the fullbacks with Cooper and McClelland at centre half. Daniels and Whitehall the midfield two. Poate and Varma the top assist man are the wingers. And then Griffiths behind McElhatton up front, who's on 35 for the season now. Cooper's there if we need him. There's lots of quality on the bench. No goalkeeper. It's a gamble. Will it pay off? Into the cup final to find out. Well, Larne have made 4 changes for this final, and one of them is devastating for us from a save point of view, because Bobby Harvey, our first season right back, is only on the bench. Sean Want comes in for him, as does Shea Gordon in defence and midfield as well. Zane Monlouis drops out, who is a good player. I would have expected him to start. Morgan Boys is one of their January signings. He comes into the team, as does Jack Stretton, who he managed in a Twitch save with Derby back in FM22. But let's go and get through. The fans have been fantastic. Can we go and give them their reward? We had heartbreak in a semi-final of this competition last year. We had heartbreak in the final of the Shield last year. And we had glory in the final of the Irish Cup. What did all 3 of those games have in common? That's right, they all went to penalties. Will this one do it as well? Well, we've already gone out in Europe to penalties this year. Let's see if we can manage it again. Through to the final we go. Hopefully the revenue shared. Shame it's not a slightly bigger ground, but it's still a good opportunity. Lisburn Distillery v Larne. We're going to start balanced. We'll drop back if we need to. Well, here we are on the right-hand side with 10 minutes gone, although Poate's given the ball away as soon as we come back. Massive pitch here, which doesn't help us, though Daniels nicks the ball there for Griffiths. Good one up to McElhatton. Lovely ball to Poate on the right. Had a quiet first half of the year. Can he become a hero? Yes, he can. Great assist. A lovely ball across the box. Didn't have to break his stride, Morgan Griffiths, and we've seen him turn up in a big game before. Polishes up at the edge of the box. Lovely low-driven finish. Should the keeper have got something to it? Probably yes, if we're being honest. But first shot on target, first goal. And although Larne are dominating this match at the minute, we have got the goal we need. And if we need to later on, we can drop to a cautious mentality. With half an hour on the clock, is Curtis Bell on the left. Can we zoom in a bit here? The pitch feels so far away as Daniels gives it to Varma. Cross is blocked. He's not had his best start so far. The other two outshining him in that attacking role as O'Neill picks it up on the halfway line for Collier. Out to Stretton playing off the left. Normally had him through the middle in the Derby save as Gordon picks it up to O'Neill, and that one's wide. He should have scored it. It's a golden opportunity. He's one-on-one. He's onside, and he makes a hash of it. Wide of the post it goes. With 5 to the break, it is 1-0 to the Distillery. And in addition, we've got a free kick on the left now. Swung in desperately to the back post, but into no man's land with a headed clearance. And he's straight across to McElhatton 6 yards out. He doesn't miss chances like that. If he can sniff danger, he's in there. Keeper and defender caught in no man's land. 2 shots on target at half-time. 2 goals, and to be fair, it's been a really even game aside from that. I'm not quite sure how we doubled our lead, but we're not going to waste chances when we've got individual quality. To be fair, this hasn't been a great cup final. It's been pretty similar to most of the other ones we've had in this save and in most of our other saves in recent years. The only difference here is we've taken the 2 chances we've had. They're the only 2 shots on target of the game. Larne have actually got the better expected goals. They've had more of the ball. They haven't had any corners, which again is something we've worked on in terms of our pattern of play to make sure we don't give up too many set pieces. And now, with about 25 to go, I'm just going to make a couple of subs. Firstly, we don't want to take risks with yellow cards. And today, I'm not bringing on Burns the youngster. I'm going Bagley, experienced, former Larne player. He comes on to try and see it out. Lewis Scott will come on for Brian Varma. Bit more experience there in terms of experience at our club rather than experience as a player. But the rest of the team will stay the same. Again, changes in increments, trying to keep the game quiet. But a free kick here and a 3rd goal would be very much welcomed. But it's not. It's cleared as far as Bonnis. He finds Donald across the right-hand side. Kearney gets there, thought he was going to give it away for a minute. Stretton will bring the ball downfield. Bell chases him. Gordon will get there first though, and he goes back to his centre half. If we can keep them in there, I'll be a very happy man. Force them into mistakes. Let them give the ball away. Looks like they might beat the press here. As Hancock goes wide to the right-hand side, Kearney chips forward. Bonnis brings it down for Stretton. This looks a little bit dangerous, to be honest. They've got a runner over on the left-hand side. Stretton shot blocked to Kelly, and his shot just over the bar. Oh, we've escaped one there. It wasn't the best bit of defending. It was a little bit passive. We didn't really get near them, but we get away with it. And with 15 to go, I'm going to bring on an extra centre-half. Ben Williams will come on. McClelland out to right back. And Williams, last year's player of the year, will go into his preferred role. 15 to go. I've only got one more sub break for the last two changes, so I'm going to have to be careful with fatigue here. We've got 6 minutes to go. Whitehall and Bell are the two that are struggling. So Hammond can come on. It's actually rated better overall. And Whitehall will now come off for Burns. They'll switch sides. They're a bit better anyway. So let's just hope that this is enough. There are 5 minutes left. They're still the only 2 shots on target the whole game. McClelland's picked up a knock. He might miss a couple now. But that is an incredible effort. A horrible cup final for the neutral to watch. So apologies to all of you guys. But we win it 2-0. 2 shots on target for, both chances taken. No shots on target against. I think in terms of management, that's just about the perfect final, isn't it? We're going to pick up the trophy, the second major trophy of this save. The third overall in terms of cup competitions. The Steel and Sons Cup in Season 1. The Irish Cup, the big one in Season 7, which allowed us into Europe for the first time this year. And now the Irish League Cup. And the first chance to really start to become a top side. We do the Shield next year, that would complete the set domestically. But again, we are pushing on. It looks like Europe and the top 3 in the league. And for now, we've got a trophy to go with it. What a season it's been so far. What a squad we've got. Let's go and have a look at the schedule for when we're next going to be back. And then you can let me know your views in the comments. Well, the first bit of news is good news. Kyle McClelland's injury is only 2 days. We've also got 10 grand in for winning the cup there. There's a few fitness concerns, but we've got a week off now. In fact, 10 days, so I can send a few on holiday for a week. And we are going to be back, I think, for the first games after the league split. We could yet go and defend the Irish Cup as well. It will depend who we get in those draws. But the big games are going to be the ones at the end. Linfield are going to win the league. Dungannon and Carrick we should get results against. We've drawn Dundalk in the quarter-final of the Cup. Lower league opposition, much friendlier than what we've had in the first 2 rounds. Hopefully we can take advantage. But if you're looking forward to seeing a running of the season, will it be second or third in the Irish Prem? I think it's safe to say Linfield will win enough of those 5 games in hand to maybe run away with a title. But with Larne being the disappointments, albeit they'll probably be one behind us after midweek, this is going to be a real opportunity to get in the race for second or third. If you're looking forward to seeing where we finish, how we get into Europe next year, and whether we can back up the first trophy with another this season, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know what you thought of the transfer window and the 2 performances. For me, probably as close to a perfect episode as we've come in this save. If you want to stay up to date and see if we can back it up, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back in a couple of days' time with another big episode from this one. The attention will turn firmly back to the league, and hopefully we'll be able to live up to our reputation. One that is starting to become pretty strong in Irish domestic football. In the meantime, you can check out our head coach save. We had a massive episode yesterday, which is in the eye above. You can keep your eyes peeled for that one, which will be back tomorrow at the normal time. And do check out our top 3 playlist. It made its return last weekend. The first blog post from our new long-term save over there was out too. You can find that up there as well. And I'll see you again here in a couple of days' time. A big finish to the season on the way. Will it be another trophy? Will it be second or third place? All the answers will be on the way very soon. I'll see you next time.